Mother Nature, je vous. Mother Nature, je vous. Public figure and why I am a public figure. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's feeling good today. We're going to let more come in here in a second to line up for this. We're going to have a little talk. We're going to have a little talk. We're going to have a little understanding. I'm talking to my peoples. I'm talking to everyone who will listen. I'm talking to everyone who follows my books, those who are my readers, my fans, my family, those who like me and those who are against me. I'm talking to all of you. I'm talking to everyone. I want you to hear this. I'm not mad, angry, or upset, but I do need to clue people in on exactly who and what I am. We're going to start with the fact that 2 days ago, I was visited by some authorities. And I do remind everyone, you are being recorded when you're around me. I'm a public figure. I am known as B. I have a perfect record. I'm known as a nice guy. I'm not known as something evil. I'm not known as something mean. I've worked with the public my whole life. Never have I gotten in trouble. Can't even recall the last time I could say trouble, really. But this weekend, or let's say 2 days ago, basically the weekend, officers are alerted to a situation here at my place. Now, I talk about the story of Lucifer and the spirit Deanna. I talk about mythology. We all were in that. I made a video. Now, my editor, who is also known as Deanna, also knew this stuff. She knew it. She knew it. She had no issue with it. We proceeded with the chapters. I give people a little bit, brought them in a little bit, and they were fine with it. Now, remember, I am a magician. Remember this. I tell people, I was set with a pebble and hit it at the right spot time and time again. Over and over again until I'm so precise at that one thing. I've had people want to fight me. And I tell you, I don't hold a cigarette because I'm smoking it like you think. I'm ready for an attack. Boom. I'm a survivalist. I'm a naturalist. I am fire. I tell everyone I'm in the infernal. I build material out of that fire and then build and put on top. I tell people that. I'm a magician. I'm also an author and a writer. I introduce you into my world. I'm the one who invites you in. This goes out to all my followers today, all those who are in the worlds of magics, those that are stepping out as authors today, those that are learning to write their stories, those who are going to have to figure out how to get through the fires. This is for everyone. This is for everyone. I'm really cluing you in to what happened. The first things they're looking for is not a body of Deanna. It's cracking on the radio, this certain woman's name. She's scared to death. She's on the phone with that woman. She's on the phone with her right now. She's hid off in a corner somewhere. We're scared to death. She's been beat up and stuff like that. You see what I'm talking about? Total lies. And the poor officers couldn't tell the difference. I understand that. My job, by detail, and who I am, is to understand those officers' situation to begin with, as much as mine. They're scared to death. I understand this. I get it. I was right there with them. This woman proceeds to let everybody know she knows I'm on meth. She knows I'm on meth. I haven't met this woman in probably 10 years. She hasn't even been around me. But she knows I'm on meth. No, as I proceed to tell the officers, you're not going to find any drugs. I'm a naturalist. So they asked if they could search, and I said yes. Yes, you're more than welcome to. They asked about my weapons, and I said I have knives. I have a BB gun. Simple BB gun. Let me show you. Can I show you? Can I show you all? There you go. I'm not touching it. Nowhere near it. I wanted to explain this BB gun to you because it's for the future. This BB gun, when I sleep or wherever I sleep, and I carry my BB gun if I got my doors open, and I do mean it stays here loaded, right here, safety on, and I keep my doors and windows open. I enjoy that fresh air. I don't want to be hemmed up in air conditioning. It tears my lungs up. You see what I'm saying? So, my BB gun sits right here. And for example, there's a huge black bear been running around. Everybody been showing videos. My cat sleeps right here. And no, I haven't given away my Mother Nature seed. I haven't done it. I've already had that established with Mammon. It was already taken care of. Let's put it that way. So no, I haven't given away Mother Nature's seed, the Invisible Maiden, the story, so you can relax there. I know that goes to a lot of people today who want to hear that. So there you go. Let's get that out of the way and let's proceed. Remind you, this gun stays like this all the time. All the time. Let's clarify. As you'll watch my hand even move curiously to put it back in its exact place, it always sits. And I don't even have to look to see it. I know it's right where I put it, where it belongs, ladies and gentlemen. This goes out to fellow Satanists who are observing the world we live in, because there's a lot of crazies out there. And because you call yourself Satans, and the Christian theologists have destroyed Satan, that they're the bad guys, when truth is, we know who the Christian Crusaders were. We know who the killers really are. Remember that. We Satanists know this. We in magics know this. This is why I'm lifting up an empire into the daylight that's from the dark. And we really need to clue everybody in to themselves. After examining everything in my place here, they know I'm in renovation. They know I'm having to clear stuff out, so there's a little trash around. I've been picking up as I can, as people have been trying to help me get my walls resituated and the floor redone. So, to some people it's a dump, but I'm telling you, it's becoming a very nice place compared to what it was. Now let's move forward, shall we? So my work's around, my office is around. As I'm outside with another officer, hear me, as this officer is digging through my stuff and going through it, it's okay. I understand that. I knew that he would mess my stuff up. Now, let's understand each other very quickly. He calls for me to come in. Listen to me. And the other officer walks in with him. You know. He takes my books. Well, first of all, let's start where it began. He found little baggies. Have you seen the little baggies where you put your chains and stuff from your light fixtures? You know the little baggies. Let me show you. You see the light fixture laying there? It's got little chains. Little chains. And I tried to tell him it had little chains in it. It was dusty. I said, you see, it's dust in this little bag. It's not. It's powder. Well, he asked about another one, which was tape on a windowsill, and at that point, you know, that was tape on a windowsill. There's nothing I can do about tape on a windowsill, right? Are you paying attention? Do you see this gun? This BB gun? Yes, everyone does. When he calls me in, this BB gun is now sitting like this, right here. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see how that gun's setting? that ain't the good part, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I tell Satanists, be observant at all times. If you're doing drugs, you tell them immediately, do not go back in that place. If you're doing drugs, I warn you not to. I'm not the person who is the guy who's going to tell you or condone drug usage in any way. Everyone around me knows I don't do these drugs. I don't. They all will tell you, no. He's just straight up him. There you go. Everyone will tell you that. Nobody has ever sold or bought none from me. I'm just not a druggie. I just don't have, I'm a naturalist. I like what goes in my body. And I'm talking even prescriptions. I tell people this. I even tried to tell them when I had my shoulder surgery, they forced me to take painkillers. I didn't want. I'm such a naturalist. Thank you all for watching and listening. So let's go back to what I'm talking about. Here's my gun. And precariously, you will watch me move it just to where it goes. As a magician, I know that it's going to, see how my hand's doing? It's feeling for them spots. You get what I'm saying? There you go. Feeling for that right spot. So as I'm sleeping, naturally, if something comes through my open door like a huge bear, I'm going to pop it with a BB gun, but I haven't hit nothing, and my cat likes to come in and out of the door, so I don't get jumpy or anxious. I'm used to it. I like my air. During the winter, I love my air. Everybody will tell you he will go outside if he has to. Understandable. That isn't crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I love my Mother Nature. Can I do that? I don't care how crazy it is. So remember what I'm telling you. He's already investigated all my baggies, and I told him he could even bring the dogs in if he needs to. I want him to have complete understanding of each other. I know his situation. I've been around law enforcement. I've been around military people. I've got friends who are. I've got Satanists who are. I've got brothers and sisters who are. But I'm going to tell you, this gun was no longer setting like this. When I walked through that front door right there, this gun was setting like this. Would you like me to put it back in the same spot you put it in? Now, I know you were probably just checking the BBs and stuff, and I'm not saying anything odd is going on. But this is the part that got really scary for all of us very quickly. Are you watching? The gentleman takes my books, and remember, he takes my books, and he sets my books down in the chair. Let me show you. He sets the books down in the chair like that. He's over the chair, and he says, show me in the book where your story is. He stands back like this, and he gets over to the side here. One of the officers are right here on the other side of the chair. I'm right here. As I proceed to go for my books, he jumps back. Get away from that BB gun. Get away from it. You see what almost happened to all of us. It's not because I'm crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I simply folded my hands like this. Put my head down. And total respect. You see what I mean? Satanists are about respect. Put my hands down, my head down. Said, okay. At that point, they decided that to go on about the rest of our business. We stepped outside. Everything was good. But there for a second, could you imagine if I'd have moved any other way, what would have happened to me and that other officer? Right between them was me. Think about what I'm telling you all. You see, when you are of my people, and I hear one time one of you stepped out of line and got yourself hurt, it is because you stepped out of line and got yourself hurt. I simply folded my hands, put my head down. That gives them total acknowledgement. I totally am in compliance and agreement with what they're doing. Do you see what I'm talking about? Over a BB gun, that maybe somebody was moving, maybe this. I'm not accusing nobody of anything. I'm just saying the way the situation went, it could have went bad for all of us very quickly. So please, if you are a follower of mine, if you study my work, and you know I'm that guy who tells you, you be compliant. And if you're doing right, it'll work out right. If you're doing wrong, it's going to work out wrong for you. We know this. It's the infernals. We know this. We don't need some God from heaven telling us otherwise. We don't need people in their religious stance telling us otherwise. It will work out like it should. I folded my hands, put my head down. I wasn't about to touch that BB gun. You understand? I don't want them to fear for their lives around me, and I'm definitely not going to make them fear for their lives around me. You understand? But when you walk into my place, you've got to remember I'm live all the time. I have recorders going all the time. Could you imagine how bad it would have been if that other officer hadn't been standing in line of fire? I'm not giving that as a warning. I appreciate that officer for standing in the way. He protected my life. Do you see what happened? That's why I congratulate those officers. We made it through a very sticky situation because they are so used to having to deal with people going from one extreme to the next like that. I told everyone, you can't bury a spirit in a box. And if you're thinking, you realize exactly what was said. After that situation, they go over to where I had just left Deanna, making sure she was okay, my son was okay, everything was great. They had to go over there and check on her. And she comes to the door like, what's going on? You know? What's happening? And they're like, are you Deanna? And she's like, yeah. Are you hid in your bathroom scared to death of Mr. O'Shellick? And she's like, no. What's going on? You know, she's like, now she's tripping. Here she's been through all these shots. She's had to work. I mean, I'm talking they had to put needles this long inside her arms and her legs. Do you think she's going to be hid off in a closet somewhere on the phone with this lady? So now you know what the officers are realizing. This is the same female who everybody knows. This is like 4 or 5 times she's deliberately attacked Deanna in her sickest of times. She doesn't attack me because I don't bow to her. And I told Deanna, unless you start fighting her back, she's going to keep running you over and your families over. And she's standing up. She's standing up against you for what you almost cost. My life. Today, these officers know the same thing. You almost cost a man his life who is honest, good, and does the right things, because I won't bow to that female. I won't take your gouging. I won't take your potent and procking and everything else that goes with it. I know who that female is. We do know. It was her name all over that radio. Dispatchers screaming left and right. She's on the phone with her right now. She's dying. She's getting hurt. And it was nothing to it. Do you understand us, everyone? Put my BB gun right back here, right where it goes. There you go. For the next bear attack. So I hope everyone really gets that. It became a very fast situation really quick, but I am ready for diffusing any situation I can. Now, if I was attacked out in the wild, I promise you, it would have turned out a different situation. Because I'm a fighter. I'm ready. I'm ready. When somebody messes with my stuff, I'm ready for you. When I realized that gun had been turned and my paperwork slammed down, that is a careless action. especially be told, I don't care for your work. And I said, so you know my work? And he said, no. I seen your Facebook. Because that's what she told us to look at. You see what happened. Now, he don't like my work. He's never seen it. So I told him, you're a professional at this. You see what I mean? So he proceeds to inform Deanna she could either take me to a place to have me, of course, given a psych evaluation. And she's like, yes, I'll take him because I know he's not going to hurt or harm someone. We know this. Everyone knows him, knows he does not harm and hurt people. They're like, well, you can take him or we're going to take him. You know, I understand that. We naturally went up there, and by the time talking to the therapist and stuff and all that, they realized I'm not that guy. They realize I'm in good health. There's nothing mentally wrong with me. I tell stories. Hey, that's awesome. You're an author. Well, you know, other authors have been through this, such as Stephen King and such as those of Rowling as well as Patterson. We've all been through this. So I was expecting something to come out of it. Didn't think you'd send the officers, but then again, when you got a female on the phone being busybody, trying to get attention themselves, you understand how fast that situation went down. Trust me now. It was so quick. If I had moved 1 second, that officer would have shot me and his partner at the same time. You understand what I'm telling you? When you call against me, you better have your facts right. You better be on cue with you better have your I dotted and you better have your T crossed. My gun was moved, but it was not by me. Now, I'm not saying that it's a setup. I'm saying the setup situation for something to be bad could have went down. It didn't. We all got to go home, eat our dinners, and get back on the program. Bloodstone Megaverse. So I want to appreciate all those who have been sending out the as above is belows. The motive bees, the blessed bees. I do not want you praying for me. I don't want an A and a man behind that for nothing. Because as much as somebody hated my work, they did not know me. All they cared about was one thing. Meth. And I told him, you can keep my share. And he's like, I don't do it. I'm like, well, apparently these people do it because they're the ones who say it all the time. The dog always barks first. Ain't that right? Guilty dogs always bark first. I said, there's your problem. You need to go hunt her down. You need to go straighten her out. And they're like, we understand. We understand. Because you almost cost 2 officers. One, their life. The other, their career. I would have never touched that BB gun. He already knew this. You see what I'm saying? We had done talked about it. So from now on, what do we do to defuse this situation even further? I do have some advice for all my satanic family. Those that are all building, of course, the Ark Tabernacle with me. I am a construction worker. As much as an emperor, I'm also in that construction business. What is we building? We're building that Ark Tabernacle, brick by brick. We're going to have those who's going to try to knock it down. We're going to have those who's not going to like it. The spirits of demons are construction workers. They built several temples for Mother Nature's calling. Now they're building the Ark Tabernacle. That's why we're doing this. That's why I have Mammon helping people today find their hidden treasures. Find them, and you're going to find more. Thousands have now conjured Mammon, and knowing that he's not a mean, evil demon, he's actually angelic in so many ways. They're finding things they've missed. I had a message yesterday. A guy said after doing it I was walking down through my house, and he said, I moved something underneath the corner of the what do you call it? The floorboard, floor panel in his house. He said, I noticed something was sticking out, and he said, I went to digging. And he said, it was $200 bills laying there. He said, I remember one day I was pack ratting, and the board was down, and I stuck $200 in there and nailed it back up. See what I mean? See what I mean? I love to hear that. I'm glad today I'm alive to tell you about that. Honestly, $200. But he did the ritual. He did the conjuring. He did the hell Satan, God and King. That is what Mammon needs. That's what turns that light on. That's what tells him through you. Anybody who's ever found something hidden that's like a treasure to him, like, oh man, I just found what I needed. That is part of that Mammon coming through you. Think about it. We're going to proceed. You still got 5 days before we conjure up the next 2. We're going to go into 3 at this point. So we can start getting the ball and chain rolling and get through the 72 pretty quick. I'm hoping within a few months. I'm hoping we can get through all of them, get them all on board with everyone in the empire. So we can get these tabernacles straight up in the air as fast as possible. It's going to take some time. Let's see what time we're at right now. We're at 9:30. So yes, I did pretty much everything needed to calm down. I felt like I was in fallout. If you know what that is, if you've ever been around bomb explosions, I've been around quite a few. I'm going to tell you, there is a moment where everything just goes. The fallout is then your thoughts start processing. You know. So I had to reprocess and get my thoughts right and clear, as well as this come to mind this morning. Mother Nature says you just need to get it out there to your peoples. Anytime you've got officials coming to check on your work, make sure you're already there clean. That's your first thing. For example, I had been doing construction work. They let me change my clothes before I went and got this psyche evaluation, and everything worked out fine. There was no sense of medications, and she totally plainly said this seems to be something somebody definitely had a vendetta against. There you go. Remember that. The more you do to me, the more the world looks at you. Always remember that. That's why I'm a public figure. That's why people know my work, as well as my green hands from eating pecans. Yeah, you pick the green off and that dye gets all over your fingers and you wash it all you want, but it just takes time. I want to thank those who is enjoying this today. Remember that as a magician, you are precise at the tricks you do and stuff. If you walk into a place and you're going through searches and you don't mind the officers going through your stuff searching, go ahead. The next time an officer shows up here, if he does, and I hope he don't, I hope he goes on about his days and has a great time and we know each other. We understand each other. My work is my work. My work is by book by book. Nobody got harmed or hurt. My editor is fine. She's at work today. She works a lot. She loves her work. Even when she takes her shots, it gives her work. She wants to work. Go work. I don't blame you. But remember, the next time an officer comes in, I'm going to tell them what weapons are in there, and then I'm going to say, will you take those weapons outside? Did you hear what I just said? The next time I'll be ready for, officer, will you take my weapons outside before I come in? So remember that, people. Remember that. Have them take the weapons out. Have them help you defuse any situation. They're already going to be ready for it. Trust me, we've seen a lot of videos around the world, and you wonder exactly what went down or what happened in a lot of them. I'm not going to be a casualty. I'm not going to be your casualty. I'm not going to be your statistic. I'm not going to be your I got you. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow you that privilege ever. I'm ready for it. I am still a minister of the infernals. I'm more of a minister unto my covens than you can imagine. You see, here's the thing. When you take an oath as a minister of God up somewhere that ain't there, and you're trying to serve the people, you don't really have that connection. Ladies and gentlemen, can I just tell you that? That cloth on your arm really don't represent nothing. When you literally got to get into mud with them, that means something. When you really got to dig in there into that dirt and that fire with them to pull them out. Come on, baby. Come on. We're going to get you out of there. You're pulling for them. They know it. You're holding that hand whether they like it or not. That muscle is tight as it can be. Look at that. Look at that. You're pulling them out. Come on, babies. Come on. You're going to get out of that fire one way or another. Come on. They know that minister. They know that minister is deep in that mud with them. They know that minister is fighting that fire with them, right? Right? You know that one. That's me. That's me. That's not some guy holding his cloth this morning walking around before everybody going, oh, follow me. That's not me. I'm in the fire with you. I'm that guy in that shadow going, come on, baby. Come on, we're going to get through this. Come on, honey. Come on, darling. I'm right here with you. Let's go. We're going to pull through them fires. We're going to take it to the top. Come on. That's me. That's how my people know me. I'm that guy who's going to get on and tell you, tell them officers, take your weapons outside. Anybody's got something cooking on a stove, you have them officers turn them stoves off. Do you hear me? Yes. There was a lot of yeses on that one. Poor black woman gets killed for picking up a pot. Everyone will tell you today, that was plain ass murder. Because somebody was too antsy. She wouldn't diffuse the situation no more than he would. Think about what I'm telling you. My people, you diffuse that situation for everyone. That's my people. I'll tell you now, those are my peoples. They diffuse the situation. So I learned a great lesson as well. Officers, take my weapons outside, please. And if you need something turned off, please turn it off. That's what I'll tell them every time. I will fold my hands, put my head down. Your discretion. You got the show. You're running that show. Because my cameras are watching you too. Could you imagine this morning? And I know that one who made the call, she would love to see this video. She's probably all over YouTube and everything trying to find one of me getting killed. I'm telling you the truth. You can feel that spirit. She was hoping this morning it'd be all over the news. I got shot and killed. Those officers today would be in a bad predicament. One probably laying in the hospital where he got nailed to. You see what I'm saying? And the other one's sitting in jail because guess what? He just killed his own partner. I mean, we felt this. We knew it. That spirit told everyone what was about to happen. You see what I'm saying? You about cost 3 men their lives. And a female who's tired of your tortures. You hearing me, everyone? All because she says she knew I was on meth. And this guy's like, you're not on meth. I'm like, no, there's nothing here. She knows me so well, I ain't met her in 10 years. She hasn't even been near me. How does she know I'm doing something I'm not doing? Yeah, makes a lot of sense at that point, don't it? I almost got 2 men shot at the same time. Boy, you something, ain't you? You so proud of yourself, ain't you? My wife this morning, Deanna, the whole family, could you imagine? Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you enjoy that one. And she's watching. I know the one. She's hid around inside my congregation, watching. We know who you are. We all do. Boy, I'm telling you. Could you imagine tonight? My whole family sitting around looking at you. Wondering why you did that. I'll tell you why you did that. Because you're evil. You're the real definition of it. You're going to destroy everyone around you because it makes you happy. You're going to control them like a control freak. And we won't put up with it. You do not control us. And I wish everyone around you would wake up and run, because you're that same one who will do it to them. No matter if they're kids or no matter if it's their... We know this, don't we? Everyone has watched and observed it time and time again. I could imagine. Because guess what? It didn't happen. So everyone can take a break and breathe easy. I'm ready to defuse that situation at any time. If I have to fight, I will fight. But if I don't have to, there's no sense in it. There's no sense in someone getting hurt or harmed. I'm done with those days. Those days are not me. So, where does that lead us? To the truth. The truth. They knew I wasn't some bad guy out here doing nothing to nobody. Especially when you realize I'm talking about spirits. You can't bury a spirit in a box. Especially with the equipment I put out to do the job. I mean, honestly. They're like, this ain't stuff you... No, this is construction work stuff. This has nothing to do with ditches and holes. Has nothing to do with it. No. Makes sense. Makes sense. So remember that. Everyone remember that. You make sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed when you come after a Satanist. Because I don't have to lie to you anymore. You see, Christians say we can lie and do white lies and hurt whoever we want to as long as we go to Jesus and ask for forgiveness, right? A Satanist tells you, I'm not going to lie to you. It is so honest, I could care less about lying to you. I'm just going to straight up tell you and walk on. I don't want to get into your garbage of that. Christians say you only have sex to have babies. I tell you, as a Satanist, you're a human being. You're also an animal. Be responsible and be respectful of others. Be mindful of what you're doing at all times. But I'm going to have fun with my peoples. I'm going to have fun with you. I'm going to enjoy you. I'm going to treat you right. Because you're the one who's missing the biggest part of it all, honey. That wonderful hug you used to get all the time. You remember? That one. That special one. From everyone. Everyone used to get hugs from me, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone did. It used to be special. It's that moment that you... But I stopped years ago. I stopped. I hugged nothing today. I'm talking years ago I stopped. Because of that. Do you understand? Because I couldn't feel the closeness. Because every time you get in my ear, I'm going to get you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to harm you. Those spirits start talking. Get off me. You see, I know my spirits. I knew what you were up to. Time and time again. Nailed you every time. Told you. Right to your face what you were up to. Just like them officers. Walked through that door. When I seen my gun, turned around. Bad position for me. You got to think, Satanist. I teach magic to people. When you're throwing that BB, or you're throwing a pellet, or you're a survivalist, you're out in the woods, and you want to make sure you pinpoint accurate in what you're going to put that in, boom, you don't stop until you can do it at least 7 times in a row. You see what I mean? That concentrates you, that focuses you, that puts you right where you need to be every time. As soon as I walk through that door, my weapon, my BB gun, was in the wrong place. Remember that. Not picking on nobody. But when anybody who walks through my doors, you walk in my other place, you walk in my third place, you walk in my fourth place, and my stuff has been moved. And I'm talking, I had a guy come in the other day. He picks up one of my gold coins. I don't see him do it. One of my gold coins. He just picked it up and looked at it and set it back down. You know, he wasn't trying to take it. But as soon as I walked by, I said, those are nice coins, ain't they? Boom! How did he know? I'm precision. People will tell you I'll take tape and put on my doors. You open my door, even just to peek in, I'm going to know what you did. You see what I mean? The moment you think you touch my windowsill because you felt like it, or just peeking in, I've known those. Your fingerprints are on the other side. staring at me. Pretty interesting, right? The more we get into demonology, ladies and gentlemen, those that do follow me, the more I will teach you these tricks. I will teach you these tricks, because it's good and mindful to protect yourself. Protect yourself first. Ladies and gentlemen, protect yourself first. Not your family, not your friends. You. Every step you take, you're that animal in the woods. Remember that. You're the one you don't know what you're going to come up on. Attitude. You don't know if you're going to be laying there and something's fixing to grab you and sling you out of your own world. Better be ready for it. I told you I'm a survivalist. I lay in the woods to get that adrenaline rush, to understand what Mother Nature's going to throw at me next. So soon as those officers pulled up, they threw me for a loop. I figured it had something to do with the video. I did have that part figured out. Right? But you see, it keeps coming up, your meth on my stuff by the same ones. You see, they're trying to trick the system. They're trying to say, I'm doing something. And then they'll go say, well, go read his post. Go look at his post. All this about meth. But when you read my post, I say, you keep my share. I don't want it. I know these people. You keep your share. I don't want your share, is what I tell you. You don't get my share because I don't have none. I don't do that stuff. I don't care less for it. So, you just put yourself in another bind by trying to take someone down who's been innocent. Innocent. I haven't been guilty. Never been. Not going to start now for your pleasure. But my peoples, you learn these tricks I'm talking about. You tape your doors. Tape your doors. What does that mean? So as your door, somebody's going to say they didn't open your door, or somebody's going to say they hadn't visited you. Tape your door. Tape your window. Tape your dressers. Now I'm saying invisible tape. Something unnoticeable. First of all, you want it to be so unnoticeable that it's not noticeable at all. And you might even forget. Just think about it. It's so good you even forget. Like the guy with $200 stuck underneath his baseboard of his flooring. He even forgot. He walked by I don't know how long. Been needing $200 this whole time. Bingo. Right out of the blue. I'm telling you, Mammon's that good. Hey, what? Oh, there it is. You see what I mean? That's why I teach you. That's why I want you to hear me. That's why I want you to understand me. What I work with as a magician. You work with chemicals of a different fashion. You don't work with chemicals to take for highness. For example, you take powdered creamer and you light you a fire. You pour the powdered creamer in the fire and it will all up in flames. It's beautiful. It's a spectacle. People love it if you're sitting at a restaurant and it's like, I'm a magician. Yeah. Okay, so you take your hand over the fire, you light it. Beautiful. Powdered creamer. Who knew? There you go. Powdered creamer. Who knew? You can't just lay it in a pile and light it because it's not flammable. What you're doing, you're mixing the air with the chemicals, and as the powder moves, okay? So you might have learned that trick. A lot of magicians love using that trick. It's just old school. Just old school. So tape your doors when you need to. If you're worried about people being nosy, busy bodies inside your, your technology and stuff, always take you a piece of tape and put on it. Another trick for those who want to know. So you haven't been home for 2 or 3 days. Take you some red dust. You can find pretty much red dye anywhere. You're going to stroll it out through your front door and your back doors. Oh, your windows areas. And you leave for 2 or 3 days. When you come home, you're going to know if somebody's been walking around your place. Right? Right. You're going to know if somebody's been peeking through your windows or climbed in and out of them. I've done that 2 or 3 times and caught people too. Haven't I? Yeah. So remember that. I haven't been at your place. Oh, you haven't. Then why is your footprints all over my place? There you go. That's why people don't like me. I'm a magician. I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. I need to be. I got to be. I cannot build the Ark Tabernacles if I don't. I do. I stay fasted on it. So Bloodstone Megaverse, my wonderful book, the flagship. Here we go. We're going to call it here in just a second. There it is. This is the flagship of what we're talking about. This is the work I was told they didn't like. I don't know why. Why did this book do anything to anyone? Nobody got hurt because of this book. No one. So here's the book. It's online. You can find it anywhere online right now. It's globally. I even told them, I said it's global. You can find it anywhere. I want those who are watching my stuff to understand, thank you. I want to be able to teach you new ideals. So remember that. Anytime you walk in and something has been moved, remember, get special with every detail of everything. I was looking up my birthday when I was born and what the horoscope said. It would say about my birth. It's very interesting, and I'll get into that tonight. Okay? I'm going to shoot for somewhere around maybe 8 o'clock to talk about it. How's that? There you go. Very interesting because it actually goes with everything I'm doing. Believe it or not, I could not believe it. It was so like right on game point. For example, I'm very organized with items. Not organized with everything, but with items. For example, my gun, still the same position. Right exactly where I like it, where it's going to be every time I place my arm right there. See what I mean? I am organized with items. Very interesting, isn't it? Thank you all for listening. I hope everybody has a great and wonderful day today. And for those that are in official status and those that are of those things, let's start reminding people, how about you just take the weapons outside? Yeah, that would work for everyone next time, right? Right? Thank you very much. Thank you for all for listening, helping, understanding. Jabu, jabu, jabu. Lucifer, jabu. Everybody loves it. Thank you. Have a blessed day. And do something nice. Today is Almighty Day. What does that mean? Today is Sunday. So when you get inside your celestial towers and you're tracing them and you're doing the thoughts through those spirits, as well as you want to know, there are those who want to know about Sunday, where will I meet the demon side of Sunday. We're going to eventually get into that. Just you're not ready yet. So we're not going to go there yet. But you will work between Mammon and Burial. There you go. You can work with Burial in the Celestial Towers, if you know what I'm talking about. If not, we will eventually get with Burial in the Solomonic Towers. Everyone have a blessed day. I'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight. Join me. Join me. I don't give my congregations up. It's like they said, tell us who all is going to be here and when your group's going to be here. And I said, my group doesn't come here. I go there. I'm with my congregation. I don't give them up. I put it this way. My cloth is to the fire. I am held to a different standard of high. So high, in fact, I will not give you away. I won't. I refuse. And then I said, anywhere you look online that says that famous word, Satan, you met me. Those are my peoples. Wherever you find that word, that's where you find me. They didn't care for it too much, but they know I ain't giving you up. Love to all of you. Jobu. Have a blessed day. Thank you.